Let's roll. This is Sports Rage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Monday Night Meltdown has begun, and we've got some late night action that's just getting started. And the NCAA Women's Tournament continues. USC and UConn take center stage right now, looking to cash the final ticket into the Women's Final Four. South Carolina gets NC State. That's right, NC State. Men and women both made the Final Four. Pretty epic run for the Wolfpack. Iowa cashes the ticket tonight against LSU in the game of the century, the rematch of the century. Expected numbers of between 10 and 12 million viewers for this basketball game this evening. 94-87 was the final score. The Iowa Hawkeyes get it done. Caitlin Clark goes off, drops 41 points. She hit 9 3-point shots this evening. A dominant performance for Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese got injured in the game. She played through. LSU just couldn't keep up offensively with the Iowa Hawkeyes, who will get the winner of USC and UConn. We're on UConn money line, and we're on over 135.5 in this basketball game. It's 19-17 right now for the USC Trojans. Second quarter has just begun. We're about 2 minutes in to the second quarter. The pace is a little off right now, but I think we're going to be able to get there. 135.5. It's not a ton of points we're looking for here. And right on cue, UConn just hits a three. Paige Beckers drops a three. We've got Paige over 26.5 points scored tonight as far as her player prop. We took Watkins over to 27.5. You just ride the stars, man. Caitlin Clark's prop tonight was 32.5. She dropped 41. Shout out to everybody joining us on Sirius XM, channel 159 on the SportsGrid Radio Networks. This is Sports Rage. I'm Morency. College basketball, the women's game, not bad on a Monday night. They have the week off until Friday night. Their Final Four is Friday and Sunday. And, of course, the men's Final Four is set. We'll get you up to date with the updated numbers and everything else in between. But speaking of which, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants, big-time rivalry, play for the first time this year. The Los Angeles Dodgers are minus 210 favorites right now. James Paxton making his Dodgers debut tonight at Chavez Ravine. Keaton Wynn goes for the San Francisco Giants. Keaton Wynn pitched last year once against the Dodgers, and he got lit up. And specifically, Freddie Freeman hit a home run, and Will Smith hit a home run. So for you player props out there, we're still waiting for Ohtani to cash a ticket. Ohtani tonight, plus 280 to hit a home run. So Ohtani is plus 280. We took it. We played a couple of home run props tonight. Mookie Betts has just been straight fire this year, and he keeps on hitting home runs. You're getting plus 475 for Mookie Betts to hit a home run tonight. Will Smith, all Will Smith tries to do is hit home runs. So when you bet on a Will Smith prop, that's the one thing. You know the son of a gun is trying to do it, all right? Because that's all he does when he goes up to the plate. He tries to murder the baseball. So Will Smith pays plus 650. He hit a home run off of Wynn last time he faced him. So we played 3 home run props. Shohei Ohtani to hit home run, plus 280. Mookie Betts to hit home run, plus 475. And Will Smith at plus 650. Big price right there. We also played the routine total base prop. We're going to do it every Dodger game that they're playing in. So we've got Mookie Betts. And I can't believe they keep on giving us plus money for Mookie Betts over plus 1.5 bases. Like, seriously? Okay. So Mookie Betts is plus money once again for plus bases. We're going to take Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases. We'll take Freddie Freeman over 1.5 total bases. And we'll take Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 total bases. I think the Dodgers will win this baseball game. You can run line it. They're minus 210, or you can put it in parlays if you like. For the record, actually, the Los Angeles Dodgers to win this game tonight and the UConn Huskies men's team to win the national championship is plus 127 if you're looking for a little look ahead here. UConn Huskies have just gone on a run. The women's team really is amazing, isn't it, how the same team, same universities are doing so well. UConn women just have gone on a little bit of run. USC looked good early. They were up on them. But UConn are starting to hit some shots right now. And we've just gone to a break after a prolonged UConn Husky run. Updated number right now in point spread. UConn are up a 5 spot, 24-19. UConn now lay 5.5. The total is 134.5. As I stated, it closed at 135.5. UConn were minus 3.5 at tip-off, and the total was 135.5. Caitlin Clark dropped 41 tonight, and it's one thing, like, a lot of sports events get hyped up and stuff, but it really was a great game. You could sort of, the third quarter was the difference, but you could sort of see that LSU were going to have a hard time, right? They just, LSU didn't play poorly. The problem is there's not a lot of women's teams that are going to, where a player on the other team is going to drop 41 on you. There's not a lot of women players that we've seen before, like ever, that could just like drop threes from the logo and stuff, like casually. Like she hit some long bombs tonight, Steph Curry style. She didn't hit them all, but she's such a great passer as well, right? So, she's like it's like trying to stop Patrick Mahomes almost. It's like, well, I don't know, if you let him just stand there and pass, he's going to pick you apart. But if you sort of swarm her and double team her, she's going to burn you and find somebody that's open. Like, she's got such great vision. LSU, though, tonight, say what you will about Kim Mulkey. And I don't know, I think Kim Mulkey should have been less concerned with what the Washington Post and LA Times were saying about her and her team, and more concerned with coming up with a defensive game plan to stop Caitlin Clark. It was very baffling. It was pretty clear that Van Lith couldn't do it, right? She was outsized. She kept getting burnt by the same moves over and over, yet they never really, Mulkey never really adjusted it. She took her out of the game. The Flau'jae Johnson should have been on her. They put her on Clark late, and it made a little bit of a difference, but it was too little too late. LSU just didn't shoot enough. That was kind of another problem, too. Like I said, LSU kind of played well. You drop 87 points. I mean, LSU usually win games like that, but Caitlin gets her revenge, and now she awaits the winner. The Final Four is in Cleveland. The men's Final Four is set, and an improbable run by the NC State Wolfpack. Except the Wolfpack are not a Cinderella team. I know, like, people are going to want to sell it like that and stuff, but they're the North Carolina State Wolfpack, all right? They've got, like, a multi-million dollar budget. They're a big-time program with a ton of money. Let's not pretend that they're the Sisters of the Poor or anything like that. They just underachieved this year. And it's funny because they asked DJ Burns, what's the big difference? Why are you guys winning all these games right now? And he said, well, we take practice more seriously and we show up on time and we're all committed now. We weren't committed during the year. There it is right there, right? There's 2 seasons and one of them matters, and it matters right now. NC State Wolfpack are on fire. They get the Purdue Boilermakers. Meanwhile, UConn just continue to destroy the opposition, have now won 10 straight games by double digits in the NCAA tournament. The Monday Night Meltdown has begun. Let's roll.
So there's it's not even like Colorado's going to sit on it, right? I mean, there's no way in the world we're not getting one more goal. We're going to cash this ticket. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
I love the bet. I love the price. I think that's, like I said, that's one we're going to have to, we're telling everybody right now. They're probably moving it in risk rooms everywhere right now based on us giving out this information.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
And I don't think people understand when you have a coach like Brad Underwood that is like that with you, that will get in your face like Huggy Bear did, but could hug you and love you and correct you and make you a better version of yourself. Brad Underwood. Say what you want about the Shannon Jr. situation. This guy's a hell of a coach.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
It is now Corbin Burns, the AL Cy Young favorite, now in Baltimore at an 8-1 number.
So let's just say again, for just competitive purposes. So Soto hits 45 home runs. Judge hits 47 home runs. It's not everybody going like, okay, 47 wins, everybody votes for Aaron Judge. Soto's going to steal some of those from his own teammate at this point. So when I look at that situation, I say, is there a chance those two could run away with it? Yes.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
89-87, 0.6 seconds remaining. Big drama here in this game. Always frustrating when your Final Four parlay and bracket gets busted, but here we go. I'm done.
Look what he is now. He's on FanDuel, plus 120. Almost even money to win the tournament. So you actually, if you did get him at plus 260, you got a pretty good, better investment than you had before. Just saying.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The Early Line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell Coast to Coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage Late
Sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Monday Night Meltdown continues. This is Sports Rage. I am Gabriel Morency. We're on a commercial break right now in the women's game. It is 26-22 for the UConn Lady Huskies over the USC Trojans. A resurgence of the USC Trojan women's basketball due to Juju Watkins and her dominance. We've got her to score over 27.5 points. We've got Paige Beckers over 26.5. We've got the over in the game, 135.5. It's 136.5 in game right now with 4:55 left in the first half. 26-22 UConn. They're laying 5.5 right now. And the winner gets Iowa Friday night in Cleveland. The Iowa Hawkeyes get it done over the LSU Tigers tonight. Caitlin Clark dropped 41 points this evening. An epic performance. She had 9 3-point shots tonight. LSU just couldn't keep up offensively. They crushed the glass, but, when the other team is taking as many threes as Iowa is, specifically Caitlin Clark hitting them, how are you going to deal with that? So props to Iowa for getting it done. Major League Baseball, Yankees are up 2-0 on the D-backs right now, early, top of second. Yankees off to a strong start. Dodgers and San Francisco have begun in Los Angeles. We've got our eye on this game. We've got all those player props here. Boston are in action, up 3-0 right now. We're on the Red Sox against the Oakland Athletics. San Diego and St. Louis, 4-0 Cards right now, top of 2. So we got a bunch of early runs in these games tonight. Seattle are up 4-0 on the Guardians right now. And we've got the Toronto Blue Jays got absolutely murdered by the Houston Astros. Let's bring in Joe Madden and Cam Stewart. Good to see you, Joe. Thanks for joining. It's good to see you, Cam. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't believe the Blue Jays got completely steamrolled like that. I was riding the over, and thankfully the Astros were able to put up all of those runs on the board. I can't believe, though, that the Blue Jays weren't able to hit off the Astros bullpen. We know what a mess it was in that last series out there versus the Yankees. So kind of disappointed with what we saw out of the Blue Jays today.
Well,
I was not.
No hitter.
Because
no hitter for the Astros, by the way. Ronel Blanco, no hit. The Blue Jays, we made the bet live on the show, 3-1. Yeah, they didn't just win. The Blue Jays didn't get a hit in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Blanco shut them down totally and completely. 10-0 final, no hitter. We bet it on.
That is crazy.
Yep.
That is crazy because there were a bunch of pitchers today that got into the 6 and stuff without giving up a hit. This has been the theme of the day. all day. So the Blue Jays end up getting no hit. I don't know why you guys are surprised. I would not be surprised. I bet the Houston Astros tonight. This was a classic, great spot for the Houston Astros after stumbling out of the gate against the New York Yankees this weekend. And, you know, quite frankly, the second that we found out that I already liked the Astros, but with Bichette not playing, then it was just sort of like, it was one of those, I didn't hammer it or anything like that, but I really did like it. The Astros were the play tonight, 10-0 final, but a no-hitter tonight. Wow.
By Blanco, too. Not Verlander or anything else. It's like, okay. And, Gabe, it was unbelievable. When I was on with Ranieri and in-game live, he's like, we're getting plus 300. There were 7 outs left for the no-hitter. I'm like, yes, we're definitely going to take that. You know the Jays aren't going to get a hit. Like, it was just one of those situations. They were off the whole damn game. So Joe's right. We needed the over 9, and the Houston Astros did it all themselves with a nice, perfect 10 spot for us to hit the total.
Crazy day today on the diamond. As I stated, the dude on the Cubs today, Imanaga, he went into the 6. He was at the announcer kept talking about it, how he's got a no-hitter going too. And I was like, you're gonna just don't say anything. And then right away it happened after. Buddy on the Mets tonight too, actually, didn't he? Had a no-hitter going into the 6 or through 6, I think. But the Mets ended up losing the game tonight. So, you know, crazy, an eventful start to the Major League Baseball season. We'll put it that way. San Francisco have runners on, but the Dodgers just got out of it. They had runners on first and second. So the Dodgers coming up. Did you guys bet this game? The Dodgers are all the way up to minus 310 right now, Joe. I got the Dodgers in a parlay with the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And every Dodger game, I play the same props. Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases. Freddie Freeman over 1.5 total bases. Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 total bases. And we've got 3 home run props tonight. Mookie Betts plus 475. Shohei Ohtani plus 280. And Will Smith plus 650 to hit a home run tonight. We should know Freddie Freeman hit a home run the last time he faced Keaton Wynn. And Will Smith hit a home run off him the last time he faced him. Wynn only faced the Dodgers once last year, but he got lit up and he gave up a ton of runs. What do you want in this game, Joe?
I love where you're going with those home run props, especially with the weather blowing that wind out. So I do think you're going to cash nicely in this. I have the Nerfy, though, in the first inning. So we're halfway through that first inning. I need that to come in the bottom here. So I'm glad we got out of the top of the first here. If we can get out of the bottom of the first, it was plus 100 for the Nerfy. I do expect, though, the runs to come in, and was hoping this total would drop after this first inning as well. So then I could hit it to the over. But I do think the Dodgers are the play in this. You know, you got to look at that run line. That run line right now, minus 1.5 at minus 130 is where I jump in on it, Gabe.
Very dangerous to bet no run in the first inning with the Dodgers, considering they have Betts, Freeman, and Ohtani as their 3 hitters in the first inning. Bold, but you're halfway through right now. Cam, what did you play here late night baseball?
Well, Gabe, I'm glad I avoided the Blue Jays. You're right. They were in a horrible spot. But I did take the Leafs as leg 1 of the parlay with your Dodgers. And I have Dodgers minus 1.5 at the start of the game. As Joe mentioned, you could do it now. But I just did it before the game started. Dodgers minus 1.5. They should be able to get it done. Let's go.
Mookie Betts off to just an awesome start to the season. He's coming up here right now. One thing, though, and I didn't like it early in the season when we watched the Korea series. And listen, the Dodgers are going to win a lot of baseball games regardless of who bats where in their lineup. But I don't think they should have their best 3 hitters all lined up together. They should be split up a little bit. And we've seen a couple of times this year. Muncy came through last night. But we've seen numerous times where Betts, Freeman, and Ohtani, they're all on base. Nobody gets them in after. Will Smith comes up and tries to hit a grand slam. You know, the Max Muncy's kind of similar and stuff. You know, he's a little bit more patient than Will Smith is, but the Dodgers lineup is not constructed perfectly. It's overkill. I get it, like with these first 3 hitters, and it terrorizes pitchers, but I'd like to see them split them up a little bit. And did he do it? No, damn it. Well, we won our Mookie Betts bet already, but son of a bitch, he nearly just hit a home run. He hit it off the top of the wall. Mookie Betts leads off the game with a triple. So They keep on doing this at plus money.
Most people would be like really like happy, but you're like, no, I should have been a home run. You hit your bases one. It's a good start. This guy's the best.
No, I just saw the ball launching, and I'm like, I can't believe this. Is he going to hit a home run on the first pitch here, the first at bat?
You already won your bases.
Son of a bitch off the top of the wall.
It's good. It's good. We're going to be all right. Everything's positive.
No, I just, dude, remember on Friday, it was the same thing. I won the bet on the first at bat.
Yep.
Like anybody that's not betting Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases, I don't know what to tell you. Like if you don't, it's like betting a prop that wins in the first minute of the game all the time. Like he literally leads off. And sorry, Joe, as I just stated to you, it's bold to mess with them in the first inning because Mookie Betts is the hottest hitter in the game right now. Like he's either going to hit a home run or he's going to get on base. It's insane. Let's get an Ohtani home run here. Sorry, Joe, I'm rooting for runs.
That's
sorry.
Okay.
Dave's got to worry about his wallet, Joe, even though we love you as a friend and a guest.
Yeah. It's all business when it comes to the Dodgers. And my business is
wallet trumps everything. Currency trumps all.
Yeah, kill him.
Yes. Fattening accounts.
All right. Good news. Sorry, Joe, but Dodgers just scored.
There we go. Okay, well, it's over and done with. They pulled off the Band-Aid.
Yes.
He grounded out, but Mookie Betts scores on the ground out. 1-0 LA.
Take a run.
What a letdown.
Colorado losing. So there's like, it's not even like Colorado's going to sit on it, right? I mean, there's no way in the world we're not getting one more goal. We're going to cash this ticket. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
I love the bet. I love the price. I think that's, like I said, that's one we're going to have to, we're telling everybody right now. They're probably moving it in risk rooms everywhere right now based on us giving out this information.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
And I don't think people understand when you have a coach like Brad Underwood that is like that with you, that will get in your face like Huggy Bear did, but could hug you and love you and correct you and make you a better version of yourself. Brad Underwood, say what you want about the Shannon Jr. situation. This guy's a hell of a coach.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
It is now Corbin Burns, the AL Cy Young favorite, now in Baltimore at an 8-1 number.
So let's just say again, for just competitive purposes, Soto hits 45 home runs, Judge hits 47 home runs. It's not everybody going like, okay, 47 wins, everybody votes for Aaron Judge. Soto's going to steal some of those from his own teammate at this point. So when I look at that situation, I say, is there a chance those two could run away with it? Yes.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
89-87, 0.6 seconds remaining. Big drama here in this game. Always frustrating when your Final Four parlay and bracket gets busted, but here we go. I'm done.
Look what he is now. He's on FanDuel, plus 120. Almost even money to win the tournament. So you actually, if you did get him at plus 260, you got a pretty good, better investment than you had before. Just saying.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage Late
Sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I'm Morency, the pitch, the players, the hustlers, the people, the bust them, and everybody else in between. Los Angeles Dodgers up 1-0 right now on the San Francisco Giants. As we discussed, Mookie Betts led off the game with a triple. Hit it like deep. It went off the wall. Buddy nearly caught it, though. It was a hell of an attempt. He ran into the wall. He smacked into the wall. Betts ends up on third base. And Shohei Ohtani grounds out, but delivers the run. Freddie Freeman gets on base. 3-0 for the Boston Red Sox right now. 4-0 for the St. Louis Cardinals. 2-0 for the New York Yankees. 4-2 for the Seattle Mariners. Joe, do you have any action on these late-night baseball games?
Yeah, looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks and the New York Yankees, I did take the Diamondbacks for their team total to the over. That was at 4.5 at -111. They haven't been able to get the runs yet, but I do expect in this game that they can get there. Looking at that live number for the Diamondbacks, plus 2.5 is interesting at -113 on the run line. I know how phenomenally strong the Yankees have been to come out to start the season here, but I do think the Diamondbacks have the bats and the hitters out there to be able to go over that team total and keep this one tight. Now, it's only the top of the third here, so plenty of opportunities for them in this one. I do think I'd wait, though. I'd wait till the end of this inning here to see if we can see the Yankees put a couple more runs on it before you look at that run line for the Diamondbacks live.
I just want to correct myself, too. I said Freeman. No, Will Smith got on base. I thought Freeman walked. Will Smith, my bad. So Will Smith gets a hit. Not a home run, though. Cam, you going to get in on this live in-game baseball? I'm only, I got the Red Sox. And I got the Dodgers. I got a bunch of props on the Dodger game. I bet on the Dodgers. I did bet on the Red Sox. I didn't bet on anything else tonight with these late night games, though. What do you got here? Are you going to jump in on this stuff now?
I don't know what to do, but the Guardians just put up 2, and that live total's 11.5, 4-2 in the third inning. It looks like there might be runs there. I'm with Joe. I think the Diamondbacks, they're at home. They're getting 2.5, and I got -104. I will take a dip there. I'm already on the Dodgers and the run line in a parlay. That's all I got, Morency. All the rest of the stuff is just kind of there. And I did bet on a late hockey game, and you guys probably know what I bet on, so we'll just leave it at that.
Okay, so speaking of which, the National Hockey League, the Edmonton Oilers and the St. Louis Blues are tied at 1 right now. The Edmonton Oilers are starting to stalk the Vancouver Canucks for real, actually, for first place in the Pacific. I think the Canucks will be able to hang on. But it is getting tight right now. Coming into tonight, they were 6 points back. And I know, Joe, you bet it. I bet it. The Canucks to win a division. The Oilers coming into tonight are 6 points back, but they have 2 games in hand. They do play each other in like the final week of the season. So they do go head-to-head. 1-1 right now. I'm hoping the Blues beat them, actually. So Canucks get a little bit of breathing room. I got to tell you, though, honestly, looking at the big picture, it's weird, like, depending on who you play, but it could be a nightmare. Like, if you're the Canucks, after all this, if you blow the division and you end up having to play the stupid Edmonton Oilers that just caught you in the first round of the playoffs, things can change in a hurry right now. The NHL standings are getting crazy right now, Joe. Look at the New York Jets in a complete free fall. It went from, the Jets could be the top seed to the Jets might not make the playoffs if they continue this pace. It's getting weird in the NHL now.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And you look at the Jets right now, they're down by a goal versus the LA Kings. So the Kings battling it out. They're sitting 4th in the Pacific as they fell. You look here at the Edmonton Oilers, and you're right, Gabe. I do think there is value taking them if you don't have a bet to win the division, because yesterday that was coming in up plus 330 and it was like minus 350 for the Vancouver Canucks. But the Canucks hit the road. They face Vegas coming up this week. Actually, I believe it's tomorrow, and they haven't been on the road for so long. If they go into Vegas and aren't able to pull that off, Edmonton is just so close behind them here. I did take St. Louis, though, because St. Louis is battling it out, trying to move into that last wild card position for them as well. So
they're done. The Blues, the Blues are done.
Okay,
I'm saying not tonight, but I'm saying the Blues aren't going to catch anybody. I know what you mean, but it's too hard in the NHL, like gain ground, like when you're this far behind.
They lost to the Sharks their last game 4-0 too, Morency. Good news for you guys, Morency, and your Vancouver bet. The Oilers have had 2 disallowed goals in this game. One went off Kane's head. I don't know that one, and then the other one seemed pretty clean too. So I'm like kind of looking, going, wow, the Oilers
they
are
just
getting
don't
jobs.
Like Kane.
Yeah, they just don't like Kane and Edmonton.
They're like, yeah, screw it, Kane.
I'm
Glad he
not
got
even
hit.
an Oilers fan. I'm like, this isn't right. Like, I'm just watching the replays going, one of those at least should have counted. I would have counted them both, but there you go. I'm not on the Oilers.
The Seattle Kraken, Cam, and the San Jose Sharks. So I'm expecting you bet on this San Jose. It's ever a time, actually, to take them. The Kraken do suck. The Kraken players are definitely thinking about going golfing. Season's coming to an end right now. It's been a disappointing year. If you're the Sharks, you're still showing up every night trying to get any win that you play. And really, if you're a San Jose Shark player, you're playing for your job for next year, too. Like, nothing's set in stone if you're on that team. So I could understand looking at the Sharks here tonight at plus 180. I don't like it, but I understand it.
I don't really like it either, but it's almost like an order, as you said, Morency. It's not, if I'm going to take these guys at plus 300 and stuff against, good teams. So, yeah, if the Kraken win, they win. I think the total's too low, too. You have two teams, wouldn't we want to play some freewheeling hockey? Kraken are going nowhere. Sharks are going nowhere. Can't we get over 5.5? I'll take the plus 1.5, minus 140. I'll take the Sharks plus 180, and I'll take the over 5.5. That's what I'm doing. So, and I got the Kings in a parlay with the Sharks plus 1.5 as well that I added to my portfolio.
Sharks coming off a 4-0 win over the St. Louis Blues, as Cam alluded to. They were in a free fall before that, but now they return home. And meanwhile, the Seattle Kraken, like I said, they beat Anaheim twice, but that's the only team they've beaten, Joe, in their last 10 games. The Ducks, they beat them twice. Other than that, they lost to everybody else.
Yeah, they've been an absolute mess out there. And this was a team, when we rolled into March, it looked like they were going to be able to make the postseason. So unbelievable, the fall that they had at the start of March and all throughout. I did take the San Jose Sharks as well, because how could you turn down that plus money? Home dog there with the Sharks against a team that has mailed it out. Like you said, they're ready to go golfing. I also took their team total, the Sharks over 2.5. That was coming in at plus 116.
Nice.
So the LA Kings are up right now, 3-2 on the Winnipeg Jets. And the Kings are a team right now. They've had an interesting year where they started off the season. And it was like, oh, my God, these guys are kind of amazing here. On the road, they couldn't lose. They were 11 and whatever they were on the road. They're 10-1 or something like that. And then remember around Christmas time, that's when it got bad. It was sort of early December, going into the holidays, coming out of the holidays. It was a disaster for them. They couldn't get out of their own way. They got back on track again. Then they went off the track again, where it was guys, every time we sort of get going here, we start losing home games again. And we find ourselves right back where we are. But now they seem to be dialing it up again. They're back on this sort of, okay, we know who we are, and we talk about it all the time, Cam. The LA Kings are a team that are really built for the playoffs, so none of this really matters.
Great
right?
call.
They're going to get in, and they're going to be a load to deal with. But as I stated, we're all watching basketball, guys. The NHL standings are really they're like elevators going in different directions, and the Vegas Golden Knights are fading. The LA Kings have played themselves into a situation where they're not going to be a wild card. The Kings are climbing the ladder here right now. Now, the Kings, like I said, the Canucks might have to play the Kings. If you're the Vancouver Canucks, Cam, there really is no good matchup.
No.
All right, you get the LA Kings. That's going to be so hard because they play smart hockey. You get the Edmonton Oilers. It's dear God, really? We're going to have to win 6-5 every night.
You know what, though?
You get the Vegas Golden Knights. You get into Stanley Cup champs. You get the Nashville Predators. You can't win.
Yeah, I know the Predators are dangerous, too. But I'm going to say this. I know this is a crazy take. But Vancouver, remember they pummeled Edmonton earlier on in the season? I know the Oilers are a different team, but Vancouver...
Yeah, they're going to want revenge for that. Vancouver routed them a bunch of times.
Yeah, but Vancouver, it works. It's a two-way street. They also know in their head that we can beat, we've beaten this team before. Vancouver's gone through a lot. They're a young team, but they have much better goaltending. I don't care if Stu Skinner is playing well now. Demko is a much better goalie over time, and that's an advantage. Vancouver also has great players on their team. I know they don't have Draisaitl and McDavid, but Vancouver is actually a little bit I think they're tougher than Edmonton. As crazy as that sounds as well. I actually think all around, if you take their team there, Edmonton's a team that can be beat, man. Other than Kane, where's the sandpaper on that team? I think Vancouver
I'd rather play Vegas.
Well.
As crazy
I
as
don't
it sounds.
know.
I'd rather play
Really?
Vegas than Edmonton.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, no. I don't want any part of that team. They're scary,
They're
man.
kind of slow though, Vegas. Like Vancouver match up
coming
well. We'll
back.
see tomorrow night. Like Vancouver matched up well with Vegas. Vancouver's speed causes Vegas's problems.
You're
And
right, Gabe.
Vegas, like they're big. They're so big, Cam. Vancouver are good at going around them.
But remember,
They're like, yeah, whatever, dude. You're big. We're gonna fly right past you.
They do that salary cap trick. So they add Mark Stone to that team. That's what everyone's forgetting right now. Vegas is thinking about the big picture. They're playing possum. Don't let them fool you. Come playoff
Hopefully the
time.
Canucks people, Joe, in Vancouver and Cam, are talking about that with Demko being out, that they're trying to come up with some cap shenanigans, get some extra money here, right? Same thing.
Yeah, everyone, hey, if you're
No,
not,
it's true. It's like, all right, yeah, let's do it, right? Like but they don't have a ton of money, but they're trying to figure something out. Like if they can get something going here.
Yep.
Do we have word when Demko's going to be back? Because I keep hearing another week. It's 2.5 weeks left in the regular season.
I think it's just sort of, let's get them back with get them a couple of starts before the end of the year. There's no point of like rushing them back now. It's like, all right, listen, there's only like 2 more weeks, right?
Yeah.
It's coming up. It's April 1st today. So it's coming up. Like there's only like 2.5 weeks left. So you want to get them a couple of games before the playoffs, like 3 starts type thing. So let's say like 10 days probably.
So there's it's not even like Colorado's going to sit on it, right? I mean, there's no way in the world we're not getting one more goal. We're going to cash this ticket. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
I love the bet. I love the price. I think that's, like I said, that's one we're going to have to, we're telling everybody right now. They're probably moving it in risk rooms everywhere right now based on us giving out this information.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
And I don't think people understand when you have a coach like Brad Underwood that is like that with you, that will get in your face like Huggy Bear did, but could hug you and love you and correct you and make you a better version of yourself. Brad Underwood, say what you want about the Shannon Jr. situation. This guy's a hell of a coach.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
It is now Corbin Burns, the AL Cy Young favorite, now in Baltimore at an 8-1 number.
So let's just say again, for just competitive purposes, Soto hits 45 home runs, Judge hits 47 home runs. It's not everybody going like, okay, 47 wins, everybody votes for Aaron Judge. Soto's going to steal some of those from his own teammate at this point. So when I look at that situation, I say, is there a chance those two could run away with it? Yes.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
89-87, 0.6 seconds remaining. Big drama here in this game. Always frustrating when your Final Four parlay and bracket gets busted, but here we go. I'm done.
Look what he is now. He's on FanDuel, plus 120. Almost even money to win the tournament. So you actually, if you did get him at plus 260, you got a pretty good, better investment than you had before. Just saying.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage Late
This sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I am Morency. Well, it hasn't taken long for the Seattle Kraken to ring the bell. Took them about 20 seconds. 1-0 Seattle, Cam. Those San Jose Sharks, bro.
Come on, San Jose. Like, it's just, come on. Like, what are you doing to us here? Just show up. Man, they're bad. They're really bad.
You know what? I might have to jump in on the Sharks. They're getting plus 2.5 right now.
2.5? I'm in too. I can't say no to that.
That's my buy side. I prefer 3.5, Joe and Cam. But like, I got 2.5. It's like, yeah. If it was against a good team, I'd be like, no. I'm not doing this. Like, no. But like,
remember that
come on, Seattle. They're not going to. Seattle's not winning this game 5-0.
You said that too. Remember
famous last words. Famous last words.
I go 3.5. You go,
yeah. There was like 10 goals
scored. They won by 3. I know. I'm like, the 2.5 didn't win. Thank God I took games 3.5 too. I was chasing the Sharks all night.
2.5 wasn't enough that night. Exactly. You got 3.5.
What I needed. Yep.
Exactly. They just locked. Okay, I was gonna say they locked it, but
plus 370 on the money line right now, though, you guys. I like that money line price so much better. Right? If I'm going down, I'm going down in flames tonight.
What's the deal? The big one. Yeah, I like that price.
You're a bad influence, Joe, on Cam. Cam's going to start clicking on it. He's going to be like, plus 350, pretty good price now. If I liked them before. I was going to say, if you liked them before, you got to love them now at plus 350 on the money line.
Love is a strong word, but I will bet them again at plus 2.5. Love.
So the Kings and Jets are tied after 2 periods now. They're tied at 3, so there's an in-game opportunity here. The in-game total, Joe, is 8.5, and the game is basically a pick 'em. The Kings are minus 115, and the Jets are minus 115. What do you think happens here? Jets have lost 6 in a row. For everyone tuning in, they've lost 6 in a row.
Yeah, I'm not betting the Jets. There's no way. Finally, they've been able to get that offensive production done, though, because you look at their last 6 losses, only 10 goals in those 6 games. So 3 goals out of the Jets, I'm shocked by, and I'm shocked that the fact that the Kings have allowed those to come in with Cam Talbot and net. I can't touch the total in this one because I do think we have a recipe for disaster if you're betting the under from what we've seen. I do like the Kings, though, to get the win. Minus 106 for the Kings here. They need this win. The Jets need it, too, but I'm on the Kings.
Oilers, because the Oilers are minus 180, Gabe, but I found a 3-way line at plus 105 for Edmonton. How about that? Can we win in regulation?
I want them to lose, so I'm not going to bet on them.
Sorry. Yeah, I forgot your Canuck propaganda.
Yeah, and I don't want to get in on it. They could lose. I don't trust them. I don't love them tonight.
Hey, that's all good, man.
I'm a real Canuck fan. I'm like, no, I don't want to cheer for them. Like, even for money. I'm like, no. I hope they lose. Point blank. I hope they lose.
Sharks.
So the Kings and the Jets here. Mm-hmm. It's risky, Joe, but I'm thinking under 8.5. Actually, I think it tightens up here.
It has
the only problem is 4-4 automatically beats me.
Yeah, that's the
but
problem.
5-3, I win. Someone scores 4-3, even an empty netter, I still win. I got room for 2 goals here. I'm not sure there's going to be 3 goals scored in this period. They're going to put Rick Bowness back in the hospital if they don't win tonight. They've got to tighten things up tonight here.
They're hurting Rick. Like, Rick's already come on, what are you doing to this guy? And every time a team takes the lead, the Kings take the lead, the Jets come back. So I don't know, Morency, that's a risky proposition, buddy.
I saw
Sharks plus 2.5. Like, I need help.
I saw Bowness's press conference, and he basically said, he goes, I've changed the lines. I keep sending out the same guys and get the same result. He's like, he was really just basically saying, I don't know what to do. Yep. He goes, yeah, we were close the other night, but there's no moral victories. I get the feeling tonight the Jets break through. I'm jumping in. They're not losing 7 in a row. Like I said, this is the Kings season. They're not saying the Jets season is on the line, but in a way it kind of is. Like they're in this massive free fall right now. It's like, imagine it's like being a bettor. You've lost 7 bets in a row. Eventually it starts to get to you, and you're looking at the standings, and you're thinking, dear God, man, like 10 days ago we were hosting. Now, like, we're battling to get in. Right? Like, it's falling apart for real. And the Kings, they don't need this. They're good, but the Kings aren't in like a, holy crap, we're in a lot of trouble mode here. I'm gonna ride faith here with the Jets, which usually doesn't end well for me, everybody. Me and the Winnipeg Jets, but I'm doing it. The Jets and the under. I'm doing them both, actually. Give me the Jets to win the game, minus 115, and under 8.5. There it is.
Okay. What about this one to go to overtime, Gabe? The overtime prop, it was plus 320 to go into this game. It's plus 145 live right now. I still think this one has the opportunity of going to overtime. And hopefully for you, it stays scoreless in the third, and then we can go to overtime at that point.
Yeah.
You know what my deal is? I sort of love I like the overtime prop, especially after the second period. But normally, Joe, it's like plus 170 or plus 180 even. Like, I'm always surprised. I'm like, oh, this is good value. We've got a tie game, and it's plus 180 after 2 periods. They're kind of onto it, so it probably will go to overtime.
The Jets
only plus
do a
one,
lot of overtime,
not enough value for me.
They're a real overtime team. They play a lot of tight games. They usually lose in like the shootout or overtime, but they play a lot of close games, that team. Usually on the wrong end.
They're a lot of one-goal games. Mm-hmm. Problem for them is they're giving up goals too. They don't score. They don't score very much. So if they don't keep the puck out of the net, they're going to have problems. But as you stated, Joe, they're up to 3 goals here right now. All right, so the second half, 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter here. The UConn women are leading 43-37 over USC. We're on UConn on the money line, and we've got the game to go over to 135.5. It was amazing, the earlier game, and I don't know, Joe, if you bet on it or can, but the total was 167.5. The in-game number hit like 198 at one point. Like the first quarter, it was just like a pure like NBA All-Star game. They put up like, it slowed down in the last minute a bit of the first quarter, but they put up like 57 points or something, which is a lot for 10 minutes. Like they put up 57 points in the first, slowed down a little bit. It was 45-45 at the half, so they got to it was 45-45 at the half, and they got to 90 points. And then it's sort of like all these games, man, it tightened up and stuff. And it was sort of a sweat job at the end until it wasn't, when there were a million fouls. But have you been betting the women's college basketball, Joe, or just the men's?
No, I've been betting the women's as well, and I can't believe Caitlin Clark today, how phenomenally strong she came out. 41 points, 9 threes. It's like she couldn't miss on those threes. She had 12 assists as well. So in that one, I was riding with them to be able to get the win and cover that spread. But it, like you said, it was so tight in that first half. In this game going on right now, I did take USC plus the points. I couldn't say no to those points. I believe it was plus 3.5 going into this one. But I did take Paige and Juju both for over their points as well, because I did expect the best out of their best players in this game, and that total to go to the over as well, Gabe.
Yeah, we'll check in on the props right now. Leah Edwards, who's I think she's from Toronto, actually. She's on the Team Canada. She's on the national team. But Leah Edwards, she's got like 14 points right now. She's a big key for them. When she plays well, UConn are a lot tougher. This isn't like UConn aren't as tough as, like, they're not the dominant force that they were a couple of years ago, but they're obviously still freaking elite. And Paige Beckers is a badass. UConn are starting to take a little bit of control right now. It's 47-40 for the Huskies. And it would be a hell of an accomplishment for UConn basketball to get both teams into the Final Four. The same thing that NC State has done. I don't know if you guys realize this. The NC State women made the Final Four as well. They get South Carolina. They're going to be in a lot of trouble in that game. So I think their story comes to an end. But I think the NC State men's team could beat Purdue, Joe. I don't think they're going to be overwhelmed. And not a lot of teams have like anybody the size to deal with Zach Edey, right? I mean, the guy's basically Godzilla. He's 7'4", nearly 300 pounds. He's a freaking beast. He's a monster. But NC State have their own Fat Albert in the paint. And that's DJ Burns.
He's amazing. That guy's so awesome. I love it.
Yeah, like
yeah,
if there's anyone can that like it's sort of like thing with DJ, he can't really jump. Like, you know what I mean? But he is. The thing is,
he's good.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's a lot taller than people realize. Because when you look at him, you're like, whoa, because he's so round. He's actually 6'9". So
he is.
Yeah, he's not 7'4", but he's 6'9". He can get his hands up. And the whole thing is his girth, right? It's the girth. So you see when Edey just backs into people, man. Like, what are you going to do? And, Zach Edey literally is built like Andre the Giant. So it's like dealing with Andre the Giant. Now, who's a wrestler that DJ Burns would be? Now you got your own big wrestler, Big John Studd. Now you got Big John Studd here, in the middle of the paint to battle Zach Edey. I think it's a great battle, actually. And the way NC State are playing, they're a live dog. Like, I wouldn't get in front of UConn, Joe, and I've been telling people that. Like, UConn have won every game by double digits in the last 2 NCAA tournaments. And the odds makers finally caught on by listing them as big of a favorite as they are against Bama. But I do believe that NC State will give Purdue all that they can handle. My early feel is that Purdue will survive, but they're not going to. I don't think they blow NC State out. I think NC State will be ready for them.
The wrestler Mark Henry. He reminds me of Mark Henry.
Yeah, it's a good call. Mark Henry, good call.
Yeah, he's gigantic.
I didn't want to just think of a black guy for the sake of it, so I was like, Big John Studd. But yeah, good call with Mark. Good call with Mark Henry. Great call.
Thank you. He's a massive man.
Yeah, Mark Henry. Yes. That's not the best picture of him. He looks more athletic there. You guys got to get a chunkier shot. Like,
big boy. Yep.
But DJ Burns, he's getting interest not from the NBA, but from the NFL.
Nice.
NFL teams. Supposedly, there's 4 or 5 NFL teams that want to talk to him once the tournament's over here. They want to make him an offensive lineman.
For sure.
Wow. Well, you
he's 6'9", 300 pounds.
Perfect.
And he's got good feet, like you said. So, you know what I mean? Basically, like, I saw AJ Hawk talking about it. He goes, as long as he can anchor, which basically means, like, can he use that hip power and stuff to not get pushed backwards? Because a lot of guys are big, but they don't have that sort of, you know what I mean, that legs and the ass type thing. That sort of, you know what I mean? You're an offensive lineman. You got to, like, you can't be pushed backwards. Just because you're big doesn't mean, like, you're going to be good at it. But seems like a good fit. And, hey, why not? If the NFL wants to sign him. Seems to me, though, like, you figure it could be a place for him on the bench in the NBA. But the NBA is cold. People are talking about that with Zach Edey. Like, whether Zach Edey's an NBA player or not. And the thing with Burns, why he can't play in the NBA, is he can't run. And the NBA isn't college. Like, you watch Burns, guys, like, he walks back up the floor. And there's times where, like, he tells them, hey, slow it down or wait for me, guys. Like, it's like pickup ball, right? Hold on, guys. He's got to, like, sort of, like, get back.
Like, you're right. He's not fast.
He's a big man, Cam. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we all had a buddy like that. It was like bigger, like, and played basketball with no hops, but he's just a monster. So, no, but Gabe,
great passer, that guy too, though. He just like, he's like, well, he's like, I won. Hey, look at that. Hey, look at this. Like, he's all over the place.
He's got exceptional skills. He's like a dancing bear, right? You know what I mean? So he can catch. His footwork's pretty good. But you're right, cardio's awful. So that's not going to work in the NBA. But I like the NFL idea. It actually makes sense.
Zach Edey's cardio is better. But you'll notice that's Zach Edey's problem as far as the NBA future is concerned. They really don't care, like, that you're that big. Like, but I think Zach Edey will be in the NBA, but not like a star in the NBA. But he'll be an NBA player, like coming off the bench type stuff.
So there's like, it's not even like Colorado's going to sit on it, right? I mean, there's no way in the world we're not getting one more goal. We're going to cash this ticket. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
I love the bet. I love the price. I think that's, like I said, that's one we're going to have to, we're telling everybody right now. They're probably moving it in risk groups everywhere right now based on us giving out this information.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
And I don't think people understand when you have a coach like Brad Underwood that is like that with you, that will get in your face like Huggy Bear did, but could hug you and love you and correct you and make you a better version of yourself. Brad Underwood, say what you want about the Shannon Jr. situation. This guy's a hell of a coach.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
It is now Corbin Burns, the AL Cy Young favorite, now in Baltimore at an 8-1 number.
So let's just say, again, for just, competitive purposes, Soto hits 45 home runs. Judge hits 47 home runs. It's not everybody going like, okay, 47 wins, everybody votes for Aaron Judge. Soto's going to steal some of those from his own teammate at this point. So when I look at that situation, I say, is there a chance those two could run away with it? Yes.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
89-87, 0.6 seconds remaining. Big drama here in this game. Always frustrating when your Final Four parlay and bracket gets busted, but here we go. I'm done.
Look what he is now. He's on FanDuel, plus 120. Almost even money to win the tournament. So you actually, if you did get him at plus 260, you got a pretty good, better investment than you had before. Just saying.
SportsRage Late Night. Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell Coast to Coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage Late
Sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. Joe Madden in the house. We're going to get Joe out of here in a minute. Cam Stewart with us. George Kurt's going to step up and in. Mo Khan joins me in level 3. So, Joe, if we don't speak to you later in the week, who do you like in the men's Final Four this weekend?
It's got to be UConn. I'm rolling with them laying all of the points. And then I think it's NC State as well, plus the points in that one. Like you said, I don't know if they get past Purdue. I feel the same way as you. But I do think grabbing them plus the points is the way to go. And then it's UConn to win it all for me. I think they can completely steamroll whoever they end up, Purdue or NC State. So UConn, let's get the win. They're the only ones left in my Final Four, too. So I need them to win it. I had Baylor, Houston, and Tennessee.
I had Tennessee making it to the Final Four as well. But my bet, my dream fell apart with Houston. Although there's no excuses, but Houston, I don't know what it is with them, why they're cursed. Like they just are. I don't like it's unbelievable how every year Houston's best player gets hurt. It happens all the time. It either happens like right before the tournament, in the first round of the tournament, or at the end of the year. And this time it happened freaking in the middle of the game against Duke. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, if you think about it, guys, the Houston Cougars, I was thinking about it like after when I was sort of like thinking back about how things have gone in the tournament. And I'm like, man, Houston had the ball and nearly beat Duke without their best player. Right? Mm-hmm. Like they point blank would have won the basketball game if Shed didn't get hurt. It's a cold world. But that's the problem also with Houston. The style that they play, there's not a lot of margin for error. So suddenly if you take 17, 18 points a game out of the lineup, you're going to have a problem. And they had a problem suddenly manufacturing points late, but they still nearly pulled it off. But Alabama is going to be interesting, Joe, for UConn. The only way to play with UConn is to run and gun with them, to try to run them off the gym. St. John's nearly pulled it off. Alabama's better than St. John. It's going to be a fun game.
Yep.
Thanks, Joe.